This is Tom Corner, 90 Degrees of Truth, and you are in the corner. We're on Talk News, and we're about to just stream the Trump rally in Louisiana. I didn't do the one the other day for the one that happened in, where was it, Minnesota? Just like we did with the Democratic debates, we're going to pause the stream and play it and do some talking when we pause it, just so we can hopefully bypass any possible copyright strikes, anything of that nature. All right, so let's get started and stream it now and bring it up.
Is stronger than ever before, and that's what's happened. We've created 6 million new jobs and opened.
Just going to verify if it's playing good, so give me a second.
My election. The United States has the hottest economy on earth. You know, these prime ministers and presidents and kings and queens, and I hate to say it, sometimes dictators, but we take them as they come, right? We take them as they come, but they always start off, sir, congratulations on the great job you've done with the economy.
See if we can make this
got the hottest numbers, got the hottest economy in the world. We've got the #1 economy anywhere in the world. And had our opponent gotten elected, you would right now be the #2 economy to China, and we are now so far ahead, it will never happen if smart people are standing here. We've ended the war on
mic check 1 2 1 2. Checking the audio.
Right here in Louisiana, the United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere on the planet. And how about these Democrats that want to get rid of oil? They want to get rid of natural
Everything
gas.
sounds good.
They want to go to wind. Oh, darling, I just can't watch the show tonight. The wind, it just stopped blowing. I can't watch LSU in Florida. There's no wind today. I'm angry. I'm really angry at John Bel Edwards. He has not done the job. We are securing our borders, taking care of our great veterans, and restoring the unrivaled might of the U.S. military like never before.
Whenever we can, we're gonna try to stream any rally that any candidate has from both sides, and try to do the debates as well.
We're going to introduce them, but you have 2 great senators here tonight. You have great congressmen. We approved something called Veterans' Choice. The veterans now
That's actually pretty good.
can go see a doctor outside of the VA if they have to wait for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 3 days. They can go and they can see a doctor. We pay the bill. They get better. People were waiting for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. So our veterans were taking care of our veterans. Do you notice that with the veterans? Because a lot of veterans here. But you notice it used to be all the time, every time. Oh, there's a veteran. Where's the veteran? Right there. How are you, sir? He looks like a veteran, too. Not going to mess with him. Great. Thank you very much. But you notice we don't see the bad stories about the veterans. Now the fake news will go out all over the United States. They'll look. They'll look. NBC is one of the worst in the world. They'll look.
He like pointing at the media, don't he?
Veteran. They're going to find a veteran.
Hey, I'm not the media yet, Trump. Don't be trying to point me out.
And they're going to make him a star. But you notice, for a year and a half, we've been in great shape, right? They don't talk about the veterans. Get them out.
See, like every time somebody getting thrown out of rally or that dude look mad. Oh, that's a group. That's a group of people. Look like.
You know what? Your police work fast. They work fast. They work fast. They don't mess around in Louisiana, do they, huh? Well, out.
Did he say that yesterday about Minnesota?
That was beautiful. I love to see it. Our police are great, law enforcement great. Do an incredible job. But all of our nation's gains are put at risk by a rage-filled Democrat Party that has gone completely insane. For nearly 3 years, Democrats have waged a non-stop battle to overturn your vote, overrule your voice, override your values, and overthrow the results of the most spectacular election in the history of our country, 2016. But your senators and your congressmen, and frankly, the real senators and the real congressmen and women of this country, they're not standing for it. The good people of Louisiana will never, ever stand for it. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. The Democrats are fighting to restore the wretched political class that threw open our nation's borders, shipped away our jobs, sacrificed our wealth, surrendered our sovereignty, flooded our cities with drugs and crime, and bogged us down in one foreign war after another. The endless wars have to stop. Have to stop. We're directly taking on the unholy alliance of corrupt Democrat politicians, deep state bureaucrats, and the fake news media. There they are right there. You know, it's really funny. I see all those red lights on. That means you're live, right? As soon as I start talking about the fake news, I see those lights go off so fast. But then they come back on. And you know why they come back on? Because last night, by far, all over cable, all over the place, the highest rated show was what we did in Minnesota, a state that we're going to win. That's why they come back on, because they have no choice. They may hate Trump, but they want to get those ratings. Hey, what's going to happen in 12, maybe 16 years when I'm no longer president? See, I'm just driving them. Their ratings are going to tank. I actually think they're going to endorse me. Because if they don't, can you imagine having Pocahontas as your president?
It's like a comedy show, y'all. I don't know about y'all. It's like a comedy
Real
show.
Pocahontas, we wouldn't have
A free
minded,
comedy
but
show.
The fake Pocahontas, you can't have.
He be busting jokes and all
About
day.
Sleepy Joe. His son, who knows nothing about energy, unlike the people in this room. He flies into the Ukraine. He flies into Ukraine. He walks out with $168,000 a month, $3 million. He doesn't know what a gasoline tank looks like. And they're paying him hundreds of thousands a month. Then he flies into China and he takes out $1.5 billion. I got to tell you, I just made a great China deal today for energy, for the farmers, for the
I read about. I saw that. That was actually a pretty good deal.
So many technology.
Actually, got
one of the greats. Phase one, it's a big phase. In fact, the biggest problem.
I got to do a pause anyways because I like to pause it every once in a while just to make sure that no copyright strikes get hit. I don't know if it matters for this or not, but so I looked at a little bit about that deal today. So this right now this is phase one of it. So there's possibly could be 2 or 3 phases of it. So like you said, there's energy, or not energy. I don't know about energy, but intellectual property, farm, bank and financials, and there's something else I can't remember. I think, but pretty much you said the farming or agriculture is pretty much done. The intellectual property I believe he said that's most of it. A lot of it got done in this phase, and the rest of it should be done in the second phase. I think. I think he said the banking is pretty much all done or close to it, and I think he said technology that's gonna be phase two, something like that. Anyways, it was a lot, but anyway, let's continue. Again, I'm pausing it just for copyright strike purposes and hopefully bypass that issue. I'm not monetizing it, so hopefully it doesn't matter anyways. But let's go.
It'll be 40 to 50 billion dollars in farm purchases. I don't think our farmers can produce that much. I said, that's okay. You know, my people said, sir, could we make it 20? I said, no, make it 50. Our farmers will buy more land and they'll buy bigger tractors. Right? No, they actually said, I want my farmers, I love my farmers, I want them to come back to me. Sir, we can't produce this too much. It's too much, sir. It's too much. We can't produce that much wheat and corn and all the stuff. Because I want to tell you, I got China to order a lot. And it's true. It's true. No, it's true. So China, in their record year, of course, they'll catch it within, $2. He was $2 off. He gets a Pinocchio, although Schiff got 4 Pinocchios for making up what I said on a phone call. Shifty Schiff. But their biggest year was $16 billion in aggregate. That's a lot. 16 billion, that's a lot of corn, right? 16 billion was their biggest year. They're going to buy not 16, not 20, not 30, not 40. They're going to buy between 40 and 50 billion dollars worth of agriculture.
Hey, I might just get my land and I might just start growing me something. I got 5 acres out there, out there in the middle of nowhere by the lake. I might do me a little bit of growing. Actually, I was going.
People said to me, sir,
Let me
they
just shut
can't
up
do
and
it.
wait till later.
They cannot produce that much. I said, you know what? No, it's true. My people wanted to stop at 20. I said, I'm not stopping at 20. I want them to come back and say, sir, we can't do it. Because I love my farmers. But they're going to be out there busy. They're going to be more tractors sold. And they're going to be bigger and better and more powerful. And they're going to be made by American companies like John Deere and Case and Caterpillar.
Anybody know? No, just playing.
So for your senators and your congressmen that are here, that was one hell of a deal. This is phase one. Phase one. You got to see these, and they are happy to do it. They are happy to do it. We had a great relationship, but I'll tell you, so let me get back to Biden, right? Remember? Where's Hunter? Last night I said, where's Hunter? It became like the hottest thing in the whole country. I just said, by the way, where's Hunter? He walked out of China, so he walks out with 1.5.
I'm on the coast of some Rica somewhere,
Those are
partying it up.
guys that I've been dealing with from China for the last year and a half. Those guys don't give you 1.5 billion and you know nothing. That's not the same Chinese people. I want to meet those people. Instead of 50 billion, it would be $500 billion worth of corn. So it's a crooked deal. And the fake news is always covering up for Joe Biden. Right? The fake news. They go, while the claim is totally unsubstantiated, every single newscast. With me, any claim is okay. With them, while the claim is totally unsubstantiated. And I say, but it's not unsubstantiated. He took out a fortune out of Ukraine, knew nothing. Took out a fortune out of China. How tough is China? I called one of the biggest people on Wall Street.
Maybe he's just good at that dealing, Trump.
I said,
Nah, we know he ain't that.
What are the chances of doing that? He said, 0. I said, so you're the biggest on Wall Street, Steve. Steve, you're the biggest. What are the chances you can do that? He said, even the big ones can't do that. But for a guy to walk in off the street with no experience, a bad track record, just got thrown out of the Navy, and he walks away with 1.5 billion, and then these people, these crooked people back there say, this is totally unsubstantiated. Can you imagine John Kennedy, Bill, can you imagine if Don Jr. or if Eric Trump or if our beautiful Ivanka, she works so hard.
Is that a beard?
Can you imagine?
Man, what the heck?
If they walked out,
that dude behind Trump with the black shirt.
They wouldn't be saying totally unsubstantiated. They'd be saying, where's the nearest cell? This is a horrible thing. So it's a disgrace what's going on. It's a whole big fat disgrace. And it's very unfair to Republicans. But you know what? We're here and they're not.
Come on, Trump, want to hear some jokes, man.
The Democrats and the media, they're partners. They're partners, okay? You ever see in the word manufacture, it's never been used before for this. We're talking about the southern border. And they're talking about in a manufactured crisis. They said it was not a crisis, that it was manufactured. When you had caravans, we stopped it. And the wall is being built like you've never seen before. Being built. But remember, a few months ago, in a manufactured crisis, ABC, NBC, in a manufactured crisis, ABC, again, manufactured, CNN, crooked as hell. In a manufactured crisis, manufactured. Then you go to CBS. Ladies and gentlemen, in a manufactured crisis, there's a word that was never used, and yet every single network used it. Because you know what? It's collusion. It's collusion. That's the real collusion.
They're like a skinny version of Mark Wahlberg back there.
Collusion. That's the real collusion right there. They colluded and they conspired to sabotage our incredible movement, and they want to deceive the American voter, and they want to hurt the American voter.
How long is this thing? Last night was
in the
long as
history
hell.
of our country, there's never been a greater victory
Some of these
the victory we had in 2016.
these good
and we're gonna
seaweeds.
have a bigger one in 2020. They've been trying to stop us for more than 3 years with a lot of crap.
See that? That's that good
You know,
stuff.
the first time I heard about
That's
Russia,
good flavor.
they said, sir, do you know anything about Russia? No.
Pause real quick. I like seaweed. These are the best seaweed flavors I've ever had. I like seaweed because, you know, sometimes when you I don't know if you were a kid, you had like the sugar sticks of sugar in it. You're not really eating it for the candy. It's the sugar you want. Or like you got spices like chip spices, like you're eating a chip. Sometimes, well, pretty much all the times when you're eating a chip, like spices on it, like barbecue flavor, and you eat the chip, and you taste the spices. That's what the seaweeds is. I'm mainly eating because the spices is so good, it's on point. But the seaweed's good too. It's nice and crispy. But anyways, let's get back to the show. I had to pause it anyways because you know it's copyright strike. Trying to bypass it. Anyways, best seaweed flavor. This one is from Sea Castle. Roasted seaweed snacks, spicy. Let's go.
Have you colluded with Russia? And I laughed. I thought they were kidding. And weeks would go by and I'd hear somebody else come up. Sir, do you know anything about Russia? No. No, I know where it is. I don't deal with it. I sold a house to a guy about 12 years ago. He was from Russia. That's a long time ago. No, I don't know. Then they come up again. Sir, this Russia keeps coming up. Do you know anything about it? This is the witch hunt. This is the insurance policy for, you know, this was the insurance policy. Remember from the two lovers. If she doesn't win, we've got an insurance policy. These people are corrupt. These people are disgusting. The two lovers. And they put it on the FBI server so their spouses wouldn't find out. Because they didn't want to put it on their private. That didn't work out too well for Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, did it? Lisa, I love you. I love you, Lisa. I love you, Lisa. I love you so much I can't even see straightly. Lisa, She's going to win 100 million to nothing. But just in case, Lisa, my darling, just in case she doesn't win, we've got an insurance policy essentially saying we're going to take him out. These are corrupt people, folks.
Turn it up for y'all.
And then she said, Peter, I love you. I love you so much. You're so great, Peter. I don't think she loves him too much anymore, do you? I don't think she loves him. I hear the word is not too good. The word is she's not in love anymore. We've been living through this so-called insurance policy because they know we're putting a stop to their pillaging and their plundering and their hoaxes. The radical Democrats' policies are crazy, their politicians are corrupt, their candidates are terrible, and they know they can't win an election day, so they're pursuing an illegal, invalid, and unconstitutional bullshit impeachment.
Hey, he let it out. That's a problem. Some of that grape juice with some of that turmeric. Beast.
They're scammers and con artists, perpetrating hoaxes and witch hunts. A man like Greg Jarrett, great guy, he wrote a book, and the book tells you the whole story, bestseller book. Greg Jarrett, great guy, so many. Bongino, I tell you, so many. He's not a lawyer, but he's better than the lawyers. He's called Street Smart. But these are great, so many great people. John Solomon should get the Pulitzer Prize. How about these fraudulent writers at the New York Times? They get Pulitzer Prize and they got it all wrong. They have to give back their Pulitzer Prize, but that's a fix also, isn't it, huh? I've just won the Pulitzer Prize for talking about Trump and Russia, but they were all wrong. Now, the people that were right, like Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh, Laura Ingraham and Tucker Carlson, Judge Jeanine and Waters, my Waters. And frankly, the best show by far in the morning is Fox and Friends. Also got the best rating. And Lou Dobbs, how about Lou Dobbs? And Varney, he's great. You know, Varney's great. And Maria Bartiromo. And you know what? And then many others. But they get it right. But why isn't John Solomon, why aren't these people getting the real Pulitzer Prize? Because they were right. They called it right. The Times, the Washington Post, they're dishonest, horrible, I think very, very bad for our country publications. It's a phony deal. So their writers get Pulitzer Prizes for getting it wrong, and the great writers that really got it, and I don't know them, I never even met some of these people, but the ones that really got it right, they go home empty-handed. It doesn't work that way. And the people see it, you know, the people see it. So some of the names that I mentioned, all of the names that I mentioned, and plenty that I didn't, I'll tell you, thank God we have them on our side. And in its own way, thank God that we have a thing called social media, because we get the word out like nobody has ever gotten the word out before. But it's called a witch hunt, the story of the greatest mass delusion in American political history. That's what it is. This is one of the great con jobs ever. We must never let it happen to another president. This should never be allowed to happen again. When Schiff goes out and speaks before Congress, they never thought I was going to release the transcript of my call. Oh. And this whistleblower, what's going on with the IG? How come the IG brings a whistleblower forward? And the whistleblower who works now for Biden, did you hear this one came out yesterday? But the whistleblower comes out with a totally phony report on my phone call. But they never thought I'd release it, so they were going to be okay. 8 times quid pro quo, except it was no time. And if you listen to what they said, it sounded horrible. That's why I had to release it. I called up Ukraine. I said, do you mind? I had one of my people make a call. Do you mind if we release it? They said, what the hell is that all about? And by the way, the president of Ukraine yesterday came out, and he said he did nothing wrong. What are you talking about? I think they look at our country, they think we're all crazy. They think we're crazy. But he said, really nice, the new president, good guy, and he got elected on an anti-corruption platform because Ukraine is known as a, unfortunately, very corrupt place, but they'll straighten it out. But he came out yesterday and he said so strongly, and the fake news hardly puts him on. Hardly puts him on. And he said it before, he said it at the United Nations, and his foreign minister said it so strongly. He said, there was nothing wrong with that call. There was nothing wrong. They don't even know what the hell we're talking about. But nobody thought I'd release the call. Probably nobody thought we had a transcript. So when I heard the viciousness, but here's the worst of all, worse than the whistleblower. Now the whistleblower, this isn't a whistle. Why are we protecting a person that tells you things that weren't true? But listen to this. So Shifty Schiff, little Adam Schiff. Adam, I've had you up to here. I've had you up to here. Little Adam Schiff. He comes out and he made up my conversation. And I was watching, fortunately, because a lot of people sort of think like, oh, I guess that's what he said. I said, I never said that. And then when Pelosi, nervous Nancy. Yeah. Nervous Nancy.
Oh, what'd he do?
Nervous
Hold on. What'd he do? I'm gonna get that back.
Nervousness.
That was a fool, man.
I used to think she loved the country. She hates the country. Because she wouldn't be doing this to the country if she didn't. She hates the country. Nancy Pelosi hates the United States of America because she wouldn't be doing this. And I'm telling you, foreign nations, foreign people looking at us, they honestly think we're nuts. And then you have presidents and saying nothing was wrong, the president of the country. That's in question. But Nancy Pelosi said, that's what he said, isn't it? But she was angry as hell when she got to read the transcript because she said, wait a minute, that's not what I was told. But she was stuck. She was stuck. But think of a guy who makes up a phone call, makes up my words, viciously says 8 quid pro quos. In other words, you got to do this or we're not going to do that. And there were none. There were none. They couldn't believe it. When I released that call, I would have loved to have seen their faces. And then he goes before the United States Congress and before the American public, and he makes up the story of what I said, made it horrible and vicious, not even close. It's not like, gee, he missed a couple of words. He missed every word. He made it up. It was fiction. It's unbelievable. And honestly, I don't know, Congressman, but are you immune from something like that? That should be a crime. That should be a crime. Anyway, that's why tomorrow I need you. to send the radical Democrat establishment a loud and clear message. You are going to fire your Democrat governor who's done a lousy job and send a great Republican to the governor's mansion. When John Bell Edwards ran for office, he made your state a sacred promise that he would not raise your taxes. Then he got elected and broke that promise by ramming through the largest tax hike in your state's history. John Bell Edwards. And you know, because the state obviously likes me, I think I won like by a lot. I don't even know why the hell you like a guy that lives on Fifth Avenue, but I like you too. But I used to go to construction sites. My father would be putting up houses or a building, and I'd go and I'd work with the workers, and that's when I realized these are the people I love. These are the people. These are the real people. I know them all. I know the good ones. I know the bad ones. I like those workers. But John Bell Edwards lied to the people of Louisiana. While every other state is making massive job gains, and you don't even know this, Edwards' terrible policies are killing jobs across your state. Edwards is now trying to destroy Louisiana's energy sector. You know that, right? With threats and lawsuits inspired by the radical left-wing Washington activists and Democrats. That's what he's doing, right? John Bell Edwards, not good. Goes around saying, I like Trump very much. He's very good. But behind my back, he doesn't like me. A friend of mine knows him well. He said, behind your back, he's not so good. John Bell Edwards was a superdelegate for crooked Hillary Clinton. And he supported. By the way, it looks like Bernie lost his chance, huh? Bernie was hitting a baseball today to show how strong he was. There just wasn't a lot of bat head speed. Bernie, get better. But Bernie, get better fast. It's the only time I've ever said anything good about him. But boy, did they take advantage of him 4 years ago. And he let him do it. You can't do that. You can't let people take advantage. He figured, I'll wait 4 years. It's a little bit tough. But it looks like, when Bernie gets out, which seems inevitable, when Bernie gets out, it looks like those will go to your radical leftist Elizabeth Warren, right? And that, unfortunately, will be the end of Sleepy Joe, because I would really probably most like to run again. I don't know, sort of anybody, I don't care. Whoever it is, just put him out there. Let's get this thing going.
Trump want that smoke. Trump said he want that smoke.
But John Bell Edwards supported far-left candidates like Stacey Abrams. Our friend Brian
Got to
Kemp,
do a pause.
he did a number on Stacey Abrams.
This one ain't going as crunk as last night, but it's whatever. I hope it's not even too long though. I got to do some music. We'll see real quick. Yeah, I just got to do a quick pause. You know how this goes. All right, let's go back and play it.
She's still saying, what happened? What happened? She had Oprah. Oprah used to be a very good friend of mine. She used to go to Mar-a-Lago, place I have in Palm Beach. She loved Mar-a-Lago. She loved the key lime pie. She did. No, so do I. She loved the key lime pie. But she used to go. She loved me until I decided to run for office. But she went to Georgia and she campaigned for Stacey. And Obama went, and Michelle Obama went, and they campaigned. And all Brian Kemp had was Donald Trump. And we had a rally at the airport, and there were 55,000 people at that rally. That was the day before, maybe 2 days before the election. I said, Brian, congratulations, you're going to win. You're going to win. And he won by 2.5 points, which was amazing. Every star, everybody went down there for Stacey Abrams. Louisiana cannot take 4 more years of a liberal Democrat governor raising your taxes, killing your jobs, attacking your industries, and taking money from open borders extremists. How about these people that want open borders? Let everybody come in. Let them all come in. Tomorrow you've got to vote John Bel Edwards out. And the way you do that is before the game, you got to get going. You got to just leave it an hour early, maybe even a half an hour. 10 minutes,
Hey, yo.
I don't care, be late for the game, I couldn't care less.
I just want to be some positive energy to
You
you.
got to vote before the game. And what it is, just so you understand, it's a runoff. So if he doesn't get 50%, then one of our 2 great candidates will win that. And it'll be John Bel Edwards against one of our 2 great, and they're both great people. They're great. Ralph Abraham.
This for all my
Eddie
club people.
Risponi.
Big and tall, you know what I'm saying? I believe
Ralph
in you, man.
Abraham and Eddie are both
Let's motivate and lose this weight.
pro-jobs, pro-worker,
Believe
pro-family,
in yourself,
pro-life.
man.
And they're
I believe in you.
Louisiana energy of that social.
I get depressed and start to eat. Cheeseburgers is my best friend.
I was here.
Hamburgers is my best friend.
And they opened the biggest LNG
And I'm constantly on the
plant
mission.
I've ever seen
Doctor
in
told
my
me to slow
life.
down, but I didn't listen.
And they've been trying to get this thing approved for years and years and years, and they couldn't. And then President Trump came along, and I got those permits so fast for them.
I'm coming.
What the heck?
These big energy executives were sitting back, and they couldn't get it approved. Nothing they could do would get it
Hey,
approved.
nigga, you know
Your
what's up,
governor
nigga.
was lousy.
I'm finna
They
give you
were
this
all
work,
lousy.
right?
Nobody
I want
could
my
help.
money next.
That thing was so dead, and I came along, and I got it approved, and then the consultants probably called up these big energy executives. Sir, we were able to get it approved for you. I never even saw these people. But I know it was a good thing. And they probably got millions in consulting fees. I'd rather give it to you people, or I'd rather give it to something, charity. But they came along. I could just see, nobody knows consultants better than me. They make the environmental rules tough, so you have to pay them a lot of money to skirt your way through, but it takes years and years and millions. So I got that plant approved, and I came down 2 months ago, right? 2.5 months ago, cut a ribbon. I'd never seen anything so big, and now they're going to double it up, I understand, and they're building an even bigger one in another location of Louisiana. Right? They will protect your Second Amendment, our 2 guys, and John Bel won't. John Bel Edwards, when it gets close and they start calling from Washington, and Schumer and Pelosi call, we want you to get rid of the Second Amendment. He's 100% going to drop the Second Amendment. You're not going to have the rights that you have or anywhere close. John Bel Edwards will not protect your Second Amendment. Our guys support your police. They defend the great workers and families of this state. If you want a governor who will fight for your values, get out tomorrow and cast your ballot for Eddie or Ralph. It's very important. Eddie and Ralph, where are you? Eddie and Ralph, where are you? Come up here. You know what? So here's the problem. We're on live television all over the place. They don't like this because they go up, they say, put Trump back on, he gets better ratings. Let me tell you, these guys are the greatest. Here's the thing. I'm going to have Meach say like a quick minute or two, but you're not allowed to hit your Republican opponent. You're only allowed to hit John Bell Edwards, because he deserves to be. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead. Is this incredible? Is this incredible?
I thought.
Yes! We need someone to do for Louisiana what President Trump has done for the USA. We need a conservative.
They look
We
like
need
brothers.
a businessman. We need someone that's not beholden to special interests. We need someone that will fight for Louisiana. That's why I'm in this race, folks. Let's go get it. Let's fire John Bell Edwards. And let's thank our president for coming down here to help us.
I just want to thank the president for coming to Louisiana and making Louisiana. We need him to make Louisiana great again, and myself. Mr. President, we thank you. Thank you so much for taking
thought he was
care of our
about to,
veterans, for
never mind.
rebuilding our military, and for protecting our southern border. And Mr. President, I dropped a resolution to expel Nancy Pelosi from the House of Representatives. Go, America, go, Louisiana!
Thank you, fellas, very much. Appreciate it. Okay, you got to do it tomorrow. Let's go get a runoff, and one of these two guys are fantastic. Just vote tomorrow for the entire Republican ticket. Just vote. We're also delighted to
I'm going to be curious to
joined
see how
by
that vote
two
goes
really
tomorrow.
good friends of mine. These are
You know,
warriors.
just to see who wins.
These are warriors.
I think the
Different
one in
types
place
of
now
people,
has some troubles.
but equally, I
'Cause
mean,
ain't
they
nobody-
fight for you, and they love this state, and they love this country.
Trump, wow, man.
One,
This
he has a
dude's crazy.
strange name when I first heard. He called me up. Sir, they said, there's a man named John Kennedy on the phone. I said, who? He's running for the Senate in a state that likes you a lot. I said, where? Louisiana. And I said, let me check it out. And it was true. There was a man named John Kennedy, very successful guy, a brilliant guy. You're not going to know what this means because I'm a big student. I like academics, believe it or not. People don't know. My uncle was a professor for 35 years or something at MIT. I like that stuff. He went to Oxford. Oxford's like as good as it gets. And he was a great student at Oxford. You know, he puts on that country stuff all the time. But I want to tell you, and we know the country's smarter than the other guys anyway. But, so John Kennedy calls it, I'd love to have your support. I'd really love it if I could, but I said, John, to me, you're the real John Kennedy, you're the real deal. And we came down, it was, I'll never forget, it was a Friday night, and it was this massive airplane hangar someplace, I don't know where the hell, all I know was in your great state. And we had thousands and thousands of people show up. And I looked at him and I liked him, and I looked at that crowd. I said, you know what? I think you're going to win tomorrow. The election was on a Saturday, and John Kennedy won by a lot. It was a great thing, and a great thing for our country. Where is John Kennedy? John, come here, John. And then we have another guy. Anytime I talk about health care, anytime I want to know anything about medical, anytime I want to know anything about taking care of people, I call a man named Bill Cassidy. He's incredible. What a heart. What a heart. Come on up here, John. Come here, John. Oxford.
You know, I mean, why you bring me up here for, man? I ain't want to talk.
Is this incredible or what?
He coming in like, all right.
I mean, is this Louisiana?
He's about to say, God damn.
I told you, Donald J. Trump loves Louisiana like the devil loves sin.
That's what he's spitting the freestyle, right? I suck at freestyles,
Mr.
but
President, thank you.
coming with like
Now,
four,
Mr.
five
President,
words, you good to go.
Earlier I gave him a quiz. I imagined you were running against Joe Biden. And I asked him a set of questions. Who's more likely to secure the southern border, Joe Biden or Donald? But there's one question I forgot to ask him. Who promised to build a new Calcasieu River bridge?
Looking like Andre Korolenko's long lost brother.
Two great men. Two great men. Two great Americans. Another man who's very brave. He was really in bad condition. I was at the hospital the night that he was expected to die. He wasn't looking too good that night, I have to tell you. I went there and the doctor said it's almost impossible to save him. And
Son of my beard.
honestly, I saw him today. I swear, I think he's better looking now than he was 2 years ago. The greatest thing, he was playing baseball. He was shot while they were practicing. He was shot at second base. Steve Scalise, right? Steve. But the greatest story. The greatest story. So he's recovering, and I mean, he really, I don't want to go into it, but he had a lot of damage. And he went out and he played in the baseball game like 6 months later, 7 months later. He could hardly stand up. And they had him at second base. He didn't have big range. Like I'd say range would be about 6 inches. And the first batter rips a ground ball right at him. I said, oh, this is going to be terrible. And he got down and he got that ball and he caught it and he threw it to first. He could barely throw. He threw it to first and the batter was out. I said, that's like a miracle. The first pitch of the game. I said, how tough is that? I don't think anybody else would have been able to stop that sucker. That was hard hit. But he's a great friend of mine, and he's another one. He loves your state. He loves you so much, and he's really a brave guy. Steve Scalise. Steve. And then we have some other great warriors, great congressmen. Thanks, Steve. Great, great congressmen. Mike Johnson, Clay Higgins. Come on up, fellas. Garrett Graves.
He's not really talking about much as far
Garrett
as
Graves.
political stuff. Right now, he's just trying to champion Louisiana candidates and just
They make
thanking
our lives
people.
so much easier in Washington.
So
We can always count on Louisiana.
we're gonna pause it right now, anyways, just to give a copyright
We
strike.
have a man who's your
bypass
Attorney General, Jeff
or hack.
Landry, is terrific.
So let's pause it right now, anyways. We might skip forward a little bit. I'll keep that paused, but actually go back a bit. All right, let's bring it back. Yeah, I like to pause it every so often, just to try to bypass any copyright strikes if we do get any, or to try to make sure we don't get any. Anyways, let's go.
Make America safe again, and we will make America great again. Thank you, Louisiana. Get out and vote tomorrow. Thank you.
Guess that's it. I fast forwarded a little bit. Just because like he was done anyway. So that's it for tonight. The Louisiana rally. Did do the whole thing. I started a little late. And we're going to end it a little, well, right here. Skip forward. I do that just because of the copyright strike. So we're just going to pause it right there. The other day was definitely way more crazy. Let's put it that way. But anyways, that's it. Trump rally, Louisiana. We're not going to do all the rallies. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Yeah, so that's it for tonight, guys. That's it. I'm gonna stop this right here and catch you guys next video.